Hello, good morning, and this is Understanding the SDGs in English, an Interpreter's Take 2. And today this is the third video, and today we are going to talk about backcasting. Do you know backcasting? This is a little unfamiliar word. You may not know this word before, but today I'm going to explain this word in English. So please try to understand this one, okay? So today I'm going to explain using these two books. I like these two books. It's very, very thick. These are SDGs 思考, SDGs 思考, 社会競争編. So in English, that's SDGs thinking. And SDGs thinking for social co-creation. Okay. And these books are written by Kazuo Tase and SDG Partners Inc. I like these two books very much because these two books teach me a lot about SDGs. These are my SDGs Bible. It's like textbook for me. I always look back and learn from these two books. Okay, so today we talk about backcasting, but before that, let's start with forecasting. Backcasting and forecasting are two opposite words, two different words. But let's start with forecasting. Forecast means that you imagine what you can do from now. For example, if you memorize means learn or study 10 English words a day, each day, what can you what can you forecast? What can you achieve in the future, right? For example, we can memorize 100 words in 10 days. We can memorize 1,000 words in 100 days, right? Yeah. So it's very easy to calculate. So forecasting is based on today. Okay. So in forecasting, we start with the starting point. Okay. So we just hope that we can achieve something in the future. Okay. This is forecasting. So we start today and we hope we can achieve in the future. But backcasting is different. So what is backcasting? Forecasting was from here to here, from now to the future. But backcasting is from the future to the present, from the future to now. Okay, so it's a different direction. The directions are different. So in backcasting, we start from the end. We start from the end and we back calculate, and we decide, okay, we need to do this. We have to do this. We have to do this. We decide what to do now. Okay. So this is the difference between forecasting and backcasting. Forecasting is we start from today, but backcasting is we start from the future. Okay. So let's look at some examples of backcasting. So this is my favorite book by Stephen R. Covey's, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. This book is very, very popular, and it's read by many people in the world. And there are 7 habits. And habit number 2 says that we need to start with the end in mind. So when we start something, we have to decide the ending point. Okay, we have to start the future. We have to start with the goal. Okay, we decide the goal first. And go down, go down, go down, go back, and decide what to do today. Okay, so start with the end in mind is the same as backcasting. So this is one example of backcasting. If you are interested in reading 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, please go to the bookstore. This book is already translated into Japanese. And this book is also available, is also published, written with mangas, with comics. So it's very easy to understand. So 7 habits. Let's go to the next example. So another example is Moonshot by John F. Kennedy. He was the president of the United States during the 1960s. So he said in 1961 that, okay, the United States of America will have astronauts. Astronauts are people in the space, in the universe, outside of the Earth, okay? The America will send these people to the moon, And these people will land on the moon by the end of the 1960s, okay? So Kennedy said in 1961, by the end of 1960s, we will have people land on the moon. So this is backcasting because Kennedy decided the goal first. And after that, they decided what to do today. So Moonshot is one example of backcasting, okay? If you are interested in Moonshot by John F. Kennedy, please search this on the internet. You can find a lot. And now, almost 60 years later, Joe Biden is doing the same thing. He says cancer moonshot by Joe Biden. So he says that the goal is to prevent or to stop more than 4 million cancer deaths by 2047. Okay, so John F. Kennedy said by the end of 1960s. Joe Biden says by 2047. So by 2047, cancer will be cured. America is going to fight against cancer and decrease the cancer patients by 4 million people by 2047. This is back calculating, and this is backcasting. So they start with the end and decide what to do today. Okay. So this is a cancer moonshot by Joe Biden. It is also another great example of backcasting. Okay. And of course, SDGs apply backcasting too. There are many examples, but I just want to use one example from SDG 14.6. So SDG 14 is about life below water. So it's about marine life. And SDGs 14.6 say that by 2020, stop fisheries subsidies for overfishing. I made the SDG goal 14.6 easy to understand. So by 2020, SDGs want to stop giving money to help, or they want to stop giving money for overfishing. Overfishing means catching too much fish. If they catch too much fish, there will not be any fish in the ocean. So we need to control fishing, okay? Don't catch fish too much. That's the message. And subsidies is money to help companies. So if there is subsidies for fishing companies, they get more money, they go to the sea, and they catch more fish, right? That's bad. So the United Nations want to stop subsidies for overfishing, for catching too much fish. And they say by 2020. So they say the goal first, and they decide what to do now. Okay? So there are many examples of backcasting, whether it's SDGs, Joe Biden's cancer moonshot by John F. Kennedy, and habit 2, start with the end in mind. Okay? So that's it for today. Thank you very much for joining. And please remember this very important keyword, backcasting. Let's start with the end in mind and decide what to do today. I think this backcasting can be used by in our lives too. It's very easy to decide what to do today if we know the future goal. Okay, so that's all for today's video. Thank you very much for watching.